Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Darren, and right now I'll be taking a look at Assassination Rogue talent changes, and I've already looked at the Outlaw ones, and so I kind of have an understanding of how I want to do this video. It'll be very interesting to see what changes are to Outlaw, and compared to Assassination Subtlety. Already I can see that some abilities are the same. We have the same level 45 talents, we have Listeners and Cheat Death, we have Alacrity, I believe, and Mark for Death and Death from Above as an option for, I guess, all three specs of rogues. Not quite. No, yeah, actually, yes, it is. Yeah, it is. What was I talking about? Alright, so this spec is going to be mostly about poisons and bleeds. So that is going to be the main mechanic of Assassination. It does have some bursts, but it's mostly dot-based mechanics. Poison and bleed themes, and that's what mostly you're going to get out of this. So abilities like Hemo become a talent. Level 15, we have Master Poisoner. Increase damage done by all poisons by 10%, and there are non-damage effects by 20. That means the slows and even Legion, Paralytic Poison, all the extra effects of poison. So a lot of poison play. Elaborated planning, your finished moves grant 20% chance to increase damage for 4 seconds. I feel like this is great. If you get a kidney off on a target, then mutilate 20% extra damage. Sounds just insane. Then you have Hemorrhage, rip a gushing wound on target, dealing damage, physical damage, increasing your bleed damage on target by 30% for 20 seconds. Awards 1 common point. The question is, what deals more damage, bleeds or poisons? But elaborate planning will basically allow everything to deal damage for 4 seconds. Although you just gotta get a finisher on it. Master Poison will be great if you're rolling some kind of like crazy, like I'm not even gonna go over through them, all the poisons. But if you're rolling some kind of crazy poison-based like utility capability, then I feel like that could work out pretty well. It's really difficult to describe just what I'm trying to say. Like if you have run some kind of a poison-based playstyle where you use some poison extra effects in order to benefit you in some way, like paralytic poison, which we'll go over in the future, but that increases the effects of your stunts. So given 20% more effectiveness to that one would increase your stunts overall, or leeching poison for extra healing. Taking a look at level 30, we have the 3 familiar ones: Night Stalker, Subterfuge, and Shadow Focus. Shadow Focus have been reduced to 50 energy less while stealthed. Night Stalker is the same, Subterfuge is the same. It's hard to tell which one we choose. I want to say off the top of my head Subterfuge, just because you have so much CC capability. But the question is, how often can you get into stealth as Assassination? And I'm not even sure myself. I haven't been able to take a look at all the abilities. We do have Vanish. I'm not even sure if Vanish... all 3 specs of rogues have Vanish, so you can still apply that. But it's weird. Does Outlaw have the same? No. Oh, wrong thing. Subtlety has the same tree, so okay. I was just gonna take a look at that. So Subtlety has the exact same tree. There's Night Stalker, Outlaw, Shadow Focus. Subterfuge I would think would be better again, just because out of stun you can go road, cheap shot, maybe cheap shot a second target, and then maybe shadow step to the guy you're trying to kill, then kidney, and then you generate column points and you were effective with it. I'm just trying to rationalize. It seems like Assassination is basically staying the same way as it was as a WAD, so it'll be probably the easiest one to adjust to when Legion comes out, if you played all the specs of Rogue. On a level 15, I still don't know. It's really hard to decide. It's just, I don't know how dot-based playstyle, how poison-heavy playstyle is. Maybe even it's just all about burst and finisher for PvP. I feel like elaborate planning would be best. Anyway, let me move on to the rest of them. Deeper Stratagem, Anticipation, and Vigor. I feel like Vigor would be nice for the extra energy for Assassination, but they don't have heavy amount of energy regen. As far as I understand, the only energy regen they get is from Venomous Wounds. Each time you deal bleed damage to a poison target, you generate 10 energy. Hemo is not a bleed anymore, so that would be weird. So the only one you have is Real Rupture and then Garrote. So Vigor combination with Venomous Wounds, I don't really see that working as well, unless you can put up a bunch of Venomous Wounds on everybody. I feel like Deeper Stratagem or Anticipation would be better for Assassination, basically, because you can stack up the extra common points, regen the energy, utilize the finisher, mutilate, you have 5 common points back, and Venom, mutilate, and using elaborate planning on top of it, you'll be able to get 20% extra damage when you line it all up together. So I would want to say Assassination will maybe be all about preparation in terms of damage. Basically, like, prepare a bunch of abilities in order to strike your target at the same time. Just unload everything that you got in terms of common points, procs, and energy. At level 60, we have Leech and Poison coming back, only for Assassination. Cuts you weapons in non-lethal poison, granting you Leech. I feel like I didn't utilize it in PvP for any of the 3 rogue specs, so I would stay away from it already. I feel like Elusiveness wins that one pretty quick. Then Cheat Death is alright, but it's not as good as Elusiveness, because you can keep up Elusiveness at all times. So, that one's pretty quick, actually. Level 75, we have a return of Paralytic Poison, but it functions differently. 3-second cast, costs your weapon in non-lethal poison, lasting for 60 minutes, causing 10% increased duration for a kidney shot and cheap shot. So in terms of opener and stuns, you'll have more capability, good for combination with Master Poisoner. So that one is interesting, because it's not exactly the same Paralytic Poison. It seems to be dumbed down, or more like balanced down, I guess I would say. Because it was kind of OP back in MOP. I feel like it's a good ability. I don't know if that'll be... Maybe it was, meta is all about stuns. This could be amazing in terms of arenas. It's because you can get CC or lineup damage and keep your targets in there for longer. Maybe especially with Deeper Stratagem, Paralytic Poison, and Master Poisoner, get like a long-ass stun, right? So for example, at class abilities, you would have Kidney at 6 combo points, it's 7 second stun. Then Paralytic Poison increases it by 10%. Then we have Master Poisoner increasing the effectiveness of Paralytic Poison by 20, so that's 30. So if we take, let me do this real quick. Actually, I have my phone out. Oh, I can just use a calculator, can I? Calculator, just to make sure I have my data right, numbers right. 7 seconds divided by 100 times, it would be 30% effectiveness. Yeah, so 30. You'll get 2 extra seconds on a stun. So 7 seconds plus 2 seconds, 9-second kidney shots. Technically, I don't know if that'll be even fair in a game to be sitting in a stun for 9 seconds. That'll be the comeback of the Combat Rogue 8-second stun, but a little bit more BM. But the lineup would be so freaking sweet for it. It's weird. But let me just move on to the elements. Thuggy. Passive. Let's see if other passives are competitive with Paralytic Poison Super Stun right now. Each time you deal bleed damage, you have a 50% second chance to reset the cooldown on Garrote, but Garrote silence now lasts only 1 second. Now the question for Garrote that I had earlier, is Garrote a stealth only ability? Garrote the enemy, damage over time, silences the target for 3 seconds when used from stealth. So it puts a bleed on a target and a silence if it used from stealth. So Thuggy, each time you deal bleed damage, you have 50% to reset cooldown on Garrote, but silence only lasts 1 second, so out of stealth. I don't know how that would function, let's say even with Subterfuge, if you can like Garrote 3 targets. Silence the target for 3 seconds when used from stealth, but you can use it outside of stealth then, it would seem. So will that be part of the bleed mechanic? Just one of the bleeds you want to apply on a target? That would be interesting. I don't know if Thuggy is good. Internal bleeding is basically the same. Kidney shot also causes damage to bleed. So if you get Deeper Stratagem, more bleed damage. So I feel like that would be good to grab off the top of your head, just because you have more bleeds to work with. And a lot of your abilities like Hemorrhage can apply from bleeds and Rupture. So that's interesting. Paralytic Poison Super Stun already sounds like a combo, but Internal Bleeding Hemo sounds like a bleed your target to death kind of combo. And you can even grab Anticipation or Deeper Stratagem with it. Like that would work out just fine. I got 2 specs already for Assassination. Super Stun and Super Bleed. It's weird, but it's interesting. Level 90, we have Numbing Poison. Coats a target in lethal poison lasting 60 minutes. Each strike has a 20% chance to poison your enemy, increasing all damage taken from your abilities by 10%, stacking up to 5 times, lasting 12 seconds. I feel like this one is very effective. Again, Master Poison or Deeper Stratagem, Numbing Poison would be insane combo, so your enemies take more damage from you. I feel like that one's really freaking good. Better than Alacrity, which is something that's they're keeping for all 2 specs of Rogue. But Blood Sweat. Each time you deal bleed damage, the effect has a 30% chance to spread additional nearby target. That's AoE. Already I feel like Numbing Poison is a better option. But that means it's competitive with Paralytic, so if you want actually for full bleed damage, or full damage that you can get, Internal Bleeding is what you would have to roll for. Maybe even Master Poisoner, because you don't have Paralytic, but then you would go for damage. It's interesting. This is the amount of combination that Assassination has on the top of my head. It's a lot. It's a lot of combinations, but I feel like Numbing Poison kind of bottlenecks you to choosing it in terms of single target, unless Alacrity is better for PvE. But in PvP, this seems faster. Blood Sweat is fine, but I don't know. Maybe you could use it in like cleave type of situation for arenas, like with a Warlock, like Assassination, Affliction, and then dot everybody, bleed them up. That'd be cool. But I want to say Numbing Poison off the top of my head. Level 100, Venom Rush, Energy Regeneration rebuff 5% for every poison the enemy. Didn't use it as Assassination. Marked for Death, Death from Above. I feel like Death from Above If Assassination can deal damage just fine with dots, Death from Above isn't needed, so you can go with Mark for Death to line up stuns and then bleed your enemies and poison them to death. So I feel like Mark for Death is a better option off the top of my head, unless Death from Above is still a bursty ability as it is currently in WoD. But I guess it's just a question of just how bursty in terms of in Venom is Assassination still. Because you could line up Deeper Stratagem, Master Poisoner, and Death from Above, because in Venom is still poison damage. So this would be poison damage effects, damage done by poisons, and Death from Above, and then numbing poison on top of it. So you would numb your enemy, you would use Death from Above, while Master Poisoner with 6 command points to deal max burst damage. Again, now it seems like less dot based, more bursty type of mechanic for Assassination. I like how there's so many playstyles, but Venom Rush is basically useless, I feel like. I would even put Venom Rush in a whole nother tree, actually. I would replace it with Thuggy. I don't even know if Thuggy is that great. I actually can't tell. But Assassination seems to be really well set up, and there's going to be a lot of playstyles to it. I already came up with 3 just by sitting here playing around with it. So I'm even envious of Assassination. I'm even going to play it. Some of the things to note for it is we have still Assassin's Resolve. Shadow Step is a baseline for it. 30-second recharge. 1 charges. So it's the same as Outlaw Grip, so that makes me happy. So Outlaw didn't get crippled out of it. Assassination gets crippled and poisoned that other classes don't. Cut to the Chase is back. So you have to keep it up. Keep up the Slice and Dice now. I feel like Assassination is better than other specs in PvP simply because of Cripple and Poison. It always slows your enemy. But if you do have to change Numbing Poison for Cripple and Poison, then I guess you are taking that out. So then you would have to run a bleed-based spec. Because then you would get more ability out of it if you are going for paralytic or not mind numbing. It's an interesting mechanic because I guess a lot of people would stay away from crippling if they can go for like paralytic or numbing. It's weird to think about Assassination right now. It's so many playstyles, so many combos, so many poison playstyle bleeds on top of just overall damage lineups. There's just so much more depth to it. Like Assassination didn't really change much in terms of abilities and just playstyle. But in Legion, it seems like it's going to have a lot more depth. And I got to say, Blizzard, that is a really good move for you. Because I just don't know how I would play Assassination. But then again, it's a good thing that I'm an Outlaw Rogue. So I don't have that much of brain teasing to do here and there. But thank you guys so much for watching the video. This is it for Assassination look. I'm going to take a look at Subtlety right now. And I'll see if it is as viable as the rest of the other specs. There has been some concerns with it. I'm going to take a look at all their talents. And it's supposed to be a ninja shadow-based spec, so I'm excited about that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know which spec and combination you would run for Assassination in terms of talents. Let me know all that in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.